Welcome, traveler, to the Beautiful Sunday podcast, with special thanks to the Society of BS, where every tale hides a secret, every whisper leads to a wonder, and nothing is ever quite what it seems.
Each week, we gather around to share the strange, the spooky, and the stories that refuse to stay buried.
I never know what you're about to tell me, and I always regret finding out.
Good. Then you've come to the right place.
This week, we put on our lab coats and gloves for a segment we like to call Weird Science and Wonders.
Some call it science, others call it sorcery. We call it a fun story for the archives. These rebels break the law of nature. This episode is called File 3, the story that resonates, the Taos Hum. You are a resident in Taos, New Mexico in the 1990s. You're sitting on your couch, sipping a cup of tea, just enjoying a nice evening. When you feel something resonate through your body, it's like a heartbeat or a rumble. You can feel it in your chest and even the back of your neck. You start to feel a sense of dread and anxiety. As you pay closer attention, you also hear a faint, low-frequency hum. You look around and ask your friend, "Do you feel that?" They look back at you bewildered. You ask, "You don't hear that noise?" And your friend just shrugs, and you go about your evening. You wait and figure, it'll go away soon. But it never does. You continue to hear it day after day after day. What's worse is no one believes you. You try to find the source, but you just can't find where it's coming from. You begin to wonder, how long have I been hearing this? Has it always been there? Am I just now noticing it? Will it ever go away? These questions will not be answered today, and maybe ever. This is the tale of the mysterious noise haunting Taos that only 2% of the population can hear.
Alrighty then. I mean, let's be fair, there's humming going on all the time, and until your mind hears it, it's just kind of happening.
Have you ever heard a noise that nobody else can?
Not that I recall.
Not even when you were younger, like when people would play those high-pitched beeps and the older adults couldn't hear them, but the kids could?
Oh, sure. We've played games with that to see how old you are based on the sound that you can hear.
I know back in school, the kids would set their ringtones to that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be going off in the middle and everybody would be looking around like, what is that noise? And the teacher would be completely oblivious.
That's hilarious. I never tried that or heard of that, but that's genius.
But have you ever had again, let's say back in the 90s, one of those watches that would just beep randomly and you didn't know where it was and you had to go find it and it was
Yes.
days, you're like, where the heck is this watch?
Yes.
And then
similar to the fire detectors in your
right,
house.
would it just beep?
It just beeps. You're like, which one is it? Yeah.
And then eventually you find it, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, you take out the batteries and you're like, thank God I finally found it.
Yes.
Now imagine you never find it.
Well, I couldn't live
And
that.
you just go on hearing it for years and years and years.
Until you die? I don't know if I could live like that.
I don't think most people can. But that's what's happening in Taos, New Mexico. But not only there. In many parts of the country, in many parts of the world, there are these unexplainable hums. What do you think would cause this kind of phenomena?
Well, I mean, with hums and the different experiments or military tests and things that are happening, I mean, all the technology nowadays, you think about the satellites and what frequencies are in the air. They talk about, the it's like so many of them now, right? Because it's like trash when trash builds up.
Right.
But now they're talking about frequencies and waves and that happening around us. So, I mean, I can imagine maybe some places are stronger than others, but it doesn't explain the fact to why some people can listen to it or can hear it, but some can't.
Right, 2% of the population.
Right.
So that being said, let's start to speculate a little bit. Let's see if maybe we can figure it out. So what could be causing the Taos hum? Some people speculate it could be a form of tinnitus. Do you know what tinnitus is?
I do. I every once in a while suffer from it. You hear it's like it slaps you in the head. One ear goes silent and the other ear is just ringing.
Right.
Yes.
So basically, it's a medical condition for like exposure to loud noises over time, and it causes people to hear noises that aren't actually present.
Interesting.
And that's the crucial part of this is noise that's not actually present. And that's a problem for the people who think that this theory is true because the humming in Taos has been measured. People have gone, taken their sound equipment and have recorded this hum. So it
So it exists,
exactly,
but only 2% of people can hear it.
exactly.
Hmm.
So it's I mean, maybe in some cases of the hums, it could be like a rarer form of tinnitus where you hear like a low hissing or a low like noise, but it doesn't really explain the Taos hum because, like I said, tinnitus is ones that like is noise that doesn't exist that people still hear.
Okay.
But in this case,
It exists.
it exists. So, I mean, another possible scenario is natural causes because there was one hum in Seattle that turned out to be the mating call of a fish.
Okay.
Particularly, the fish is called the midshipman fish.
Right.
And it,
So everybody was hearing this fish get it on.
well, trying to get it on. We don't know if it succeeded.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah, apparently it had like these little, like, they look like little jewels and they're like all around the bottom of this fish and all around this fish, and it would like amplify the noise.
Interesting.
Right. So that's what they were hearing. It sounded like a low hum.
But was it only 2% of people, or was everybody hearing it at this point?
In that case, I don't know how many heard it, but it was enough that it was a whole thing. Right?
Yeah, they had to
People wrote about
research
it. They had to figure it out. But again, as far as we know, that's the thing about the Taos hum. Like with these hums, there's a form of consistency. With natural hums, is it can be measured, it can be consistent. There's a pattern, you can link it, right? You're like,
Mhm.
oh, it goes off every blank minutes, or oh,
Okay.
it goes off in the summer, right? With the Taos hum, there's no discernible pattern that they can find. So it makes it a little bit harder to say, oh yeah, it's something natural, right? But again, we don't know. It's hard to tell.
So sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, and they can't quite pinpoint like when it's going to happen.
Right.
Okay.
So the other theory that people have thrown out is that it could be gas pipes. So as you can imagine, a gas pipe is a long metal tube.
It is.
So when a long metal tube heats up, it basically emits the sound, and a tube is kind of like the perfect way for that sound to resonate through that tube and make this like loud hum.
Okay.
And in some cases, like this has been shown to be what's the cause of some hums, right?
Right.
Especially if you go to places where there's a lot of pipes, like somewhere like Texas, right, where they do a lot of that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely hear them. But again, there's patterns and there's like directionality, and you can kind of trace it.
Right. And I'm sure if you turn it on, you should hear the hum. And if you turn it off, it's an
Well,
easy
it's not
way
like
to.
people are going to go turning off the gas pipes. We're talking about these large gas pipes that like deliver gas.
But for testing purposes, if we really wanted to figure this thing
You'd
out,
shut off everybody's gas.
Just for a second, because it would only take a second for this humming to stop.
Yeah, why don't you present that to
I
the
might.
gas
City
companies and see how they like that idea. Regardless, these are some of the theories that have been used to explain. We have natural causes, human architecture, failing of eardrums, but maybe it's something else entirely. We just don't know. We don't have enough information right now.
Right.
So would you go to Taos and listen for this noise?
I'm a little nervous because it sounds like if it hits you, it hits you for the rest of your life. Now, hear me out. If they leave the area, does the humming go away?
Yes.
Okay. So
yeah, no, you're not like stuck with it for life.
That's what was going to be my other theory. Like if you go there and then you hear this hum, now this hum's stuck with you no matter where you go for the rest of your life. That is a huge concern because at that point, you're screwed either way. But if you're there, you hear the hum and then you leave and the hum's gone, well, you have a better chance. I would definitely go try it out.
Keep in mind, you could be part of the population that doesn't even hear it.
Listen, with my luck, I am the 1% of everything.
The 2%.
Or 2%. I'm just saying overall, if I'm in the 1%, then I'm definitely in the 2% because it's bigger. But that I would be the person that hears it and everybody thinks I'm crazy because that's normally what happens to me anyways.
Are you still going to want to go to Taos if you know that this noise has caused people to feel fear, anxiety, nausea, discomfort, dread. Like you'd have, if it resonates with you and it resonates strongly,
Well,
like people get physically ill from this noise.
that's interesting. It would be hard to discern that feeling away from the feelings I feel daily. Maybe it'll heal me.
It's just the hum that just
As a
heals
hum's
all of
like,
your
I
stuff.
need to move to Taos, New Mexico. I found it.
Well, I don't think that's a solution because there are less reports from Taos, and it's speculated because people moved. They couldn't stand the noise.
You know, something very interesting is we have a timeshare, and there is a timeshare in Taos, New Mexico.
Is there?
There is.
Oh, well, maybe we can go do some research and see if we can hear it.
It makes me feel like we have to do a follow-on to this one.
Maybe. Well, as far as what we know about the Taos Hum, that's all we know so far. But you know another thing that I noticed when I was writing this episode? I could not stop hyper focusing on all of the noises that were going on around me. It's like suddenly everything became so loud and I could hear every appliance, every noise that was outside my window. Like I became hyper aware of everything where I was just like, how long has that been making that noise?
Started driving you insane.
Yeah, it did.
The one thing that always would get me when we were younger is the clock in our Nana's house. There was she had an old clock, and it's not like this huge giant grandfather clock, nothing like that. It was this little clock. It was wooden, but it would just tick, 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 tick. And sometimes in the middle of the night when we'd stay the night there and I'd wake up, that's all I could hear. Throughout the day, when we were playing, we were all hanging out, never heard it. It was when I would wake up in the middle of the night and hear the just ticking of the clock. And it would take forever for me to fall back asleep because that's all I could hear the rest of the night.
Once you hear it, you just can't unhear it.
You can't unhear it anymore.
Like, I would encourage everyone who's listening to just quiet everything in your house. Turn off your music, turn off your phones, turn off your TVs, and just listen. Just take a listen. I dare you to see what you notice when everything is off. What have you been ignoring for like years of your life?
And we're going to get messages from listeners that said, stop listening to this podcast because it's caused me dread, nausea, anxiety.
It made me aware of this noise that's coming from my fridge, and now I just can't unhear it and I don't know what to do.
How do I drown the sounds out?
Well, keep listening, maybe then. Or maybe not, because for our next game, there's a little bit of a headphone warning if you don't like low frequency noises, because I'm going to play the Taos Hum for you.
Oh no. Oh wait, they have recordings of the sound?
Mm-hmm.
Well then, how do they have recordings of the sound? If only 2% of people... What?
I don't know. I am not a sound engineer. I don't know if they turned it up. I don't know how that works.
Or maybe someone recreated it. The person that can hear it. That would make sense.
That would make a lot of sense. But I'm not just going to play for you the Taos Hum, of course. It's a game. I'm going to play for you 3 noises, and you get to decipher which one is the Taos Hum.
You see what I go through, listeners?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here's the first noise.
Is your volume turned up? I heard a little bit of a squeak sound.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, am I hearing something? And then I kind of got distracted in the attention of my brain of like, maybe her volume's off.
No, my volume's on.
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear something.
Right.
But I then got confused and thought maybe you had an error.
No, the volume was on.
Okay. That's number 1. Listeners, please let me know if you heard anything, because at this point, I'm feeling a little crazy.
Which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for sound 2?
Okay, now I'm really going to listen. Yeah, I can hear that one for sure. Definitely makes my stomach feel a little queasy.
Interesting.
Just because I think I have the thought in my mind that the sound will do that, so maybe it's just in my head.
Like a placebo?
Mm-hmm. It almost sounds like a buzzing of a bee as well. If you ever had like a bee buzz into your ear, you're
Oh,
like,
I
oh,
hate that.
hate when they do that. Kind of sounds like that as well.
Even just like a fly does that, and I'm like,
yeah.
ugh.
So I heard it. Hopefully, you listeners heard it. If not, let us know.
And here's the last one. Are
Okay,
you ready?
here we go. Interesting. That one was a little bit quieter. It almost felt like sound 2 was like breathing instead of buzzing. It was very low. So if you didn't hear it, let us know. But I had to kind of really hone in to hear it. Honestly,
So what's your guess?
that last one was kind of soothing,
Oh, okay.
if I'm being honest. I think the second one.
Is the Taos Hum?
Yeah, only because I could hear it.
Well, you're going to have to tune into our Instagram to find out.
Oh man, again with this. I forgot to find the first answer. I better go back and look.
Yeah, because I didn't tell you. I didn't tell her. I swear I didn't.
No, I'm still sitting here wondering episodes later what it was. Okay, well, I guess we'll find out on our Instagram.
But what is normal anyway? Maybe one day an explanation can be found, or maybe some things even science can explain.
If you've got theories or secrets of your own, send them to us on Instagram at Society of BS, or tag #Society of BS or #Weird Science and Wonders so the others can find you. Thank you for joining us here at the Beautiful Sunday Podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Seleena.
This is another tale for the archives. Heart open, mind odd, sun high.
And if you're still hearing whispers after the credits, maybe you